Hey Heidi, thanks so much for agreeing to do this video with me today. Why don't you start by telling everybody a little bit about you and your background?
Sure. So I'm Heidi Patzold. I was in marketing and product management for probably 16 plus years and experienced a layoff. And so I kind of was wandering aimlessly, not knowing what I wanted to do next, not sure if I wanted to follow that same career path or if I should pursue a different kind of career path. And so I was introduced to Atlanta, and that was one of the best decisions I have ever made. Um,
Wow.
yes, because I was able to uncover not only what I wanted to do, but have the strength and confidence to speak to what I wanted to do next and to uncover and be confident in my strengths. I think that was the biggest thing that we worked on was um, getting rid of limiting beliefs and being able to isolate and grow in the strengths that I knew I had, but didn't know really how to talk to them concisely. So
Mm.
that was a big thing. And then being able to go for jobs that I didn't think maybe I was qualified at first glance. And then being able to say how that strength would apply to that particular job, even though I may not have had technical experience in that area. So that was one of the most helpful um, things that I got from this course.
Awesome. Well, that makes me so happy that you said it was one of the best choices. I love that.
Yes, definitely.
So, what would you say was the main or biggest problem or pain point that you had when we first started working together?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't know really what my core values were, so I didn't know how to align that with what I was looking at as far as a job. So, um, what you really helped me uncover was what my top three values were. And I discovered that my values were my number one thing was freedom. I needed that flexibility, and what freedom looked like for me might have been different from what freedom looked like from someone else. And so,
Right.
um, yeah, being able to look at that at a job, like freedom, flexibility with time, schedule, but also being able to be creative in my job was freedom for me. And so being able to look at jobs from that lens was super helpful. And definitely, I didn't know how to look for that. And I didn't know that's exactly what I was looking for. So that
Mm.
definitely was a big pain point.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. So, hopefully, you remember values are the deepest level programming of our minds. And so, values drive everything that we do. And the thing that I hate about, when we think about values in more of a mainstream way, is people think it's like, oh, I just make a list of things I care about
Yeah.
and then rank them in order, or like the activities where it's like you start with a bunch of words and then you process of elimination, like narrow it down. And I'm like, that's just so not how it is. Um, but yeah, everything we do on a daily basis is driven by our values. And until you can get in alignment with your values, you're gonna keep meeting resistance. So it might seem kind of fluffy on the outside, but truly from like a strategic and like brain perspective, it is so important. So
Yes.
glad that that was big.
Yes, definitely big. Because then I knew what to look for and I knew what to eliminate.
Yes.
And that was huge.
Yes. Cool. Can you share a bit more about the actual experience of working together? Maybe what was your favorite part or the part that, um, really moved you, where you learned the most?
Yes, so definitely was the order in which you laid things out. So we worked on a lot of, like I said, eliminating limiting beliefs. And for me, that was huge because in order to see my potential and see my strengths the way I needed to see them, I kind of needed to get this out of the way. Like this, I needed to be able to see with a clearer lens. And so I feel like I really enjoyed having that emotional release aspect because I feel like that was really rare to find in a career coach and someone who would help you actually dig deep and being able to say in a very effective, efficient way, this is holding you back. And so being able to release those and not worry about them anymore kind of gave me a clearer lens to see where I wanted to go, and then being able, to speak with confidence more than I was able to. So I really liked the order, emotional release, and then we worked on um, how to talk to the strengths and interviewing specifically. That was so helpful for me, is be able to learn effective interviewing skills, be able to talk to anybody in any position about anything. So
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. Yeah. And I feel like with you, we got a really great, like little elevator pitch with
yes,
your strengths and how that directly pertained to what you wanted to do. So I felt very powerful to me too.
yes, definitely.
So at the beginning of us working together, I asked everybody the question of how intense are your feelings associated with your problem on a scale of 0 to 10. And if you remember, you said you said today it's a 10 out of 10. On average, it's a 5 to a 6.
Okay.
What would you say that number is now?
How intense? I would say like a 2. I don't really have those same feelings. I don't feel held back like I was, and I just feel like I have confidence to go for anything that I want. And now I know what that is, and so I can go for it.
Great. And last here before we wrap up, can you just share a little bit about the impact of our work together? So what you're doing now and what our work together enabled you to do.
Yes. So definitely, this is really exciting for us because it's a route we probably wouldn't have gone down had we not had this experience and gone through this. But my husband and I actually together are going into a franchise. We've signed the papers. We're funding it, and it really helped me because it wasn't just like, oh, we go buy a franchise. It was a discovery phase where they had to interview me and they had to say why I would be a good pick for them to invest in as well. And they don't just pick anybody, they don't just let anybody do this. And so I was able to take those strengths and say, well, here's what I value, and here's I knew as a company I really liked their model because it really supported all of my values, those top values that I was looking for, that I actually didn't think was quite possible, and it was all wrapped up in this opportunity. And so to be able to talk to them and say, okay, I know you align with my values, but here's how I can help you. And I was able to then talk to them about my strengths and how I would help them grow as a company, was very valuable. And then be able to also help my husband say, okay, here's how you could help as well. And for us to be kind of business partners was a surprising turn that we didn't think would happen, but is allowing us to both live our values together. So we're super excited to start this. We'll be up and running in weeks. So
nice.
It was
so soon.
Yes, and I feel it was a direct reflection on everything we learned. It all came together in a perfect little package. So
Good. Yeah, it really is incredible how, like, I think people really don't realize how much we limit ourselves and how many more opportunities are out there that fit everything we want. Like you just said, this fits all my values, this fits all my strengths, and it's the ideal scenario. And a lot of people don't even believe that that's a thing
right.
out there. They think it's not even possible. So to go from, not knowing to coming up with those things and then matching yourself with an opportunity that has all of that. I mean, that's the best case scenario. And
Yes.
lots of people can get there even when they don't think they can. It's just they need to go through a little transformation to get themselves to that place. So I'm
Yes.
just so happy that you're there.
Yeah, that was definitely something, was opening myself up to the possibility of anything, like things that I didn't even know existed. And so that would fit my values, because I was so stuck in, this is what I've always done. This is probably what I'm always going to have to do. And that was broken wide open, and yeah.
Good. And I can't wait to hear how the franchise does in another six
Thank you.
months or a year and hear about all the more success. So
Yes, and we're excited. So
Is
thank you.
there any, sorry,
Oh, I just said so thank you.
of course. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we go?
I don't think so. If anyone's, on the fence or curious, I would definitely go for this.
Thank you. All right, Heidi, thanks so much for sharing your experience, everybody. Hopefully they find it helpful.
Yes.
And maybe we can do a little check-in in 6 months or a year and see how that
Yeah,
franchise is going. But
that'd be great.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.